Episode 280. She's coming back soon. With her killer reflexes, Vanessa avoided it, caught up again, but the man had entered the elevator and saluted her with 2 fingers. By the time Vanessa arrived, the elevator door was closed. She could not catch up. Serena picked up the thing he had thrown over, frowning. It was a pendant. It was on a chain, and the workmanship was very fine. The shape of the pendant was like a flame with a wolf head on top of it, and the wolf's neck was inlaid with a blue gem. Very valuable. But what grabbed Serena's attention was not its value, but its pattern. Wasn't this pattern the drawing in Lila Cox's diary? How come? Did this belong to Lila? However, this person had twice harassed her. Twice. What was he trying to say by dropping this necklace now? What did he want to express? Was it that he was trying to explain that he had a relationship with Lila Cox? Or did he want to explain something else? Serena looked at the necklace for a long while, raised her eyes, and saw Vanessa turn around and use the sign language. Do you still want me to chase him? Serena slowly shook her head. Go back. Henry is still waiting for us. Putting the necklace away, she went back to the restaurant. After she sat down in the original seat, Henry came back after 10 minutes and his clothes had been changed. It was awkward. Neither of them ate much. Just when Serena was eating the ice cream, Henry said, Sunshine, in a few days it will be the 5th anniversary of our company, and you are a major shareholder. I'm afraid I don't have the time. Serena bit her spoon and stopped him before he finished. You know, I've been developing a new project and I'm too busy. Neither Keith is familiar or interested in it, so... Henry was silent. The Robinson Group had been managed by Serena and Keith for many years. Henry was not sure who the first chair was. However, in the past few years, the Robinson Group had been brought back to life from the verge of bankruptcy in the very beginning. Until now, it was as great as when Jake had still been there. This definitely had everything to do with Serena. I know that our company is not big now, but it's very powerful. It only took several years for everyone to know about it. Now, who doesn't know you, President Henry? But I am really busy. If there's time, I'll come. Well, Henry smiled slightly, his eyes narrowed. Then I will wait for you. After lunch, the two of them went down to the underground parking lot silently. When they were about to part their ways, Henry suddenly stopped her. Serena turned and looked at him. He smiled softly, his eyes fixed on her. He said, You don't have to avoid me like this. Can't we go back to the old times? You were still Sunshine, I'm still Henry. Just like when Jake was still here. Can we? Serena heard the words and blinked. Suddenly shaking her head, her voice was a bit low. Henry, he's gone. So everything is different. You know, everything. Henry smiled and lowered his head, giving her a little push. Go back now. I have to go back to business as well. Goodbye. Goodbye. Ordinary farewell. However, when Henry was turning around, his eyes were almost wet. Goodbye, Henry. It was not the same. You know, everything is different. Back in the car, Henry sat quietly for a long time, watching Serena's car pulling away. He gazed into the distance. After a long while, he looked at the steering wheel. This car had been with him for more than 4 years. Although the company had succeeded and had more assets, Henry had never had the idea of replacing it. He was reluctant. He just wanted to protect her carefully and not let her get hurt. Was this really wrong? The palm of his hand caressed the steering wheel in front of him, and his lips curled into a bitter smile. It's time to say goodbye now, old fellow. Then Henry started his own red Renault and slowly moved forward. Henry and Serena were not aware that in a hidden corner of the parking lot, a white sports car had been parked for a long time. Sitting in it was exactly the man who Serena just chased after. With one hand on the window, his eyes gazed into their direction deeply. Suddenly, from the blue earrings on his earlobe came a hurried voice. Come back. She's coming back soon. He reached out and pressed the blue diamond. The white sports car suddenly started, rushing away. After Serena left the restaurant, she did not go to the company but returned home instead. When Captain Robinson saw her coming back, he felt a little guilty. He stretched, patted his leg, and said, Oh, I'm getting tired. This old man must go rest now. Serena was rendered speechless, amused, and annoyed at the same time. She simply put on a grim face and went directly into the bedroom. Taking out Lila's diary from when she had been pregnant, Serena opened it to the page with a painting. It was a flame in the shape of a wolf head with a star in the center. The lines were clear, drawn with a colored pen. She picked up the necklace and found that there was no difference between the two. The wolf's head was blue, the flame was orange-red, and the star was sapphire. She was immediately certain that the person who had harassed her twice was definitely working for Lila Cox. However, Lila Cox, Jake, Alan White, and Anna Wrong had all disappeared for so long. If they had suddenly returned, they would show up somewhere, right? What were their purposes? Feeling nervous, she immediately stood up and went to the door. When she saw Nanny Harper, she immediately asked, "Where are the children?" Nanny Harper was shocked by her look. "Playing in the backyard?" Julianne was holding a little rabbit and trying to stuff a carrot into its mouth. Jeremy couldn't stand watching it anymore and was looking away, playing with an iPad. Seth took her hand away and said, "The bunny will hate you if you continue to do this." "Ah?" Julianne looked frightened. "I just want it to be full. Why would it hate me?" "Think about it. If you're not hungry, but I take a carrot and stuff it into your mouth, will you hate me?" "Yes," Julianne blurted out and immediately tossed the carrot away, gazing at Seth with her eyes shining. "Oh my gosh, Seth, you're so good."